Okay, campers, here we are in Leadville at the historic National Mining Hall of Fame and Museum. Probably one of the coolest things you could actually go see and do here in Colorado. Unfortunately, it's closed. I'm assuming probably because of the virus, but I would have loved to have taken you for a tour, but I don't think we can. But instead, I'll show you around. Here you can see the building and the marble statue, and they do have this one ore cart they've got in front, which is rather interesting. And of course you have this beautiful view of the mountains up the street, and I just love the houses around here in Leadville. I really love just the way Leadville looks. Let's go look at some houses. So here we are, just taking a nice little drive through Leadville, kind of just looking at the houses around here and seeing what it's like. But boy, wouldn't you love to just live in a little house like this and have a view like that down your street? Here's more just quaint little houses. Some, I guess, are more quaint than others even. So here's one of our first historic buildings here in Leadville, the old church. And I wonder if you can go in there at some point and look around, but it doesn't look like you can today. Right across from the old church is the, I guess, the city hall for the city of Leadville. And over here you have the visitor information, and just around the corner would be where the historic mining museum is. But let's take a walk this way. This is, as you can see, we're about to go through basically downtown Leadville, and we're going to go find out what this town has to offer. And this is very sad, you know. Look, this is the Mule Kick. The Mule Kick, and it looks like they're closed, and you can probably guess why. Wonder if the Mule Kick will ever reopen. Gift shop's open. Check out the bears. Since 1879, Leadville newspaper. Here's a neat idea. Paint your own pottery studio. They're open. You can come in here, make your own pottery, paint it. That's pretty neat. Oh, here you go. The Corinthian Lodge, number 35, AF&M, first and third Thursdays. Freemason. Panther Pride. And I'm not sure if anybody knows what these symbols are. Maybe you could leave a comment and let me know. World's highest shrine club. Very interesting. And this is like a cool little coffee, ice cream and coffee place. I bet they've got good coffee in there. Cafe, bakery. Oh, it does have a name. City on a Hill. Definitely a really cool place. And look, they're even hiring people. If you need a job and you want to work in Leadville, this place is cool. Definitely come check it out. I'm not really in a mood for a coffee right now, or I would go in, but if you have a chance, definitely come check out this place. Here we have the Delaware Hotel and Mercantile Gifts, T-shirts, souvenirs, which is actually this store right around the corner. But that's not where we're headed right now. We're crossing the street because we're going to go find some historic sites. Let's go find out what historic figures and stories that we can discover here in historic Leadville, Colorado. Of course, marijuana in Colorado is legal, and here is a place in Leadville that you can buy marijuana, 21 only, but it does look like they're open. Floyd's, come check them out. And it looks like right next door here is periodic brewery, so you can get a little bit of weed, go get a beer. Of course, you probably shouldn't smoke the weed where you get the beer. Okay, campers, I'm standing now in front of one of those historic places. What you're seeing in front of you is the Tabor home, where Horace Tabor and Baby Doe Tabor lived together. Horace Tabor was a very famous miner here in Leadville who was known as the Silver King because he struck it very rich in silver. And you can imagine back in the day how big this house would have been. This is practically a mansion for being all the way up here in the mountains in the late 1800s. So look at just how big this property is, and this is where one of the greatest silver kings lived here in Leadville. Let's go take a look around. Now, I don't know if this part here was originally a part of the home, but it looks like it was added on later, and it's not quite kept up in the same condition, is it? But let's see if we can walk all the way around the Tabor home. You can get an idea of how big this place is. And then here we're coming out to this really beautiful little grassy place, and then here we have this children's playground. Well, how beautiful and quaint is that? This is really interesting. So I'm right across the street from the Tabor home, and here is W.H. Smith, assayer and chemist, 1907 to 1990, by appointment only. Now, if you don't know what an assayer chemist is, you would, if you thought you found a claim, you thought you found some gold or silver or something, you might take like a load, like from the ore from a lode deposit that you might have found, and bring it here, and they'll crush it apart and chemically analyze it in order to see exactly how much gold is in there, and then you would know whether digging in that spot would be profitable to you. So an assayer was an important part of gold mining history here in Leadville, and it looks like this assayer, whose name here is, oh, okay, this is next door. Okay, so we have an attorney at law on one side and an assayer on the other, and look at these cool rocks and old stuff right here on the inside, if you can see inside there. Very neat. Very cool. Let's go see what else we can find. This building here, if I'm correct, is the old Tabor Opera House. And even if I'm not right about that, it's still incredibly interesting because, well, they're renovating it, but you can see they've got this old dry climate from God knows when. It's very, very old painting on the side of the building. Ah, yeah, I'm right here. So here we have the Tabor Opera House. And this is also something that Horace Tabor built after he made his fame and his fortune. And he was known to be a drinker and a party man. And in order to keep up his lifestyle here at the top of the mountains, where there weren't a whole lot, he went ahead and built this opera house in order to entertain the elite and the rich, so they could come all the way up here to Leadville and be entertained here in the opera house. Let's take a look here. You can see just how tall this building is. Over here, across the street from the Tabor House, we have the Silver Dollar Saloon. And there you can see there's a date of 1879 is when the Silver Dollar Saloon was created. Silver Dollar is actually the name of Horace Tabor and Baby Doe Tabor's daughter. One of their daughters. They had a daughter named Lily and a daughter named Silver Dollar. And both Lily and Silver Dollar have their own unique and interesting stories. If you ever want to go look up the history of Leadville. If you look here at the top, you can see that there are two pictures. I believe it looks like it's the same picture, but that is Silver Dollar. That is the daughter of Horace Tabor and Baby Doe Tabor, and this would be the saloon that was named after her. Now, I have no doubt that what we're seeing here, this must be a mural of Horace Tabor sitting with, I'm assuming, maybe his first wife, Augusta. And the story goes that Horace divorced Augusta in order to marry Baby Doe, and that created a very large scandal for Horace. Okay guys, check it out. Here we are at the Leadville Railroad Station, and this is one of the original old-timey steam-driven locomotive trains that would have brought you all the way up here to the top of the mountains in Leadville. You can see what a beast it is, and we got some guys over here doing some construction on it, but yeah, you can see this thing is a monster, man. This thing would have really hauled a lot of ore down the mountain, and it would have brought a lot of supplies back up the mountain for the people who lived here. Let's see here, let's read what it says. It says, Colorado Southern Railway, Class B4R locomotive number 641, weight on drivers 174,400 pounds. So the total weight of the engine is 193,400 pounds. This train was built in 1906. That's pretty amazing. And then right across from the train over here we have the actual train station. And so if you were coming up here to Leadville, this would have been your stop. Or maybe you were waiting for the train. Maybe you were here on the platform. You know, you can imagine way back in the day what it would have been like maybe to come and sit here and wait for maybe a loved one or a family member to finally arrive. Look at this amazing view that you get sitting here at the Leadville Railroad Station. Okay guys, so another place to visit in Leadville. Oh shit, look at this, a chair made out of skis. That's pretty cool. Okay, another place to visit here in Leadville is the Carnegie Museum of Mining, which is actually just across the street from the National Historic Mining Museum. But here we are, just out in front, you don't have to pay anything to see this, is all of this incredible artifacts. Look at this, can you imagine this? This being pulled up? Wow. This is the shaft cage. This device was used to raise and lower men and material. And so they would take this, and I guess you would get in this along with the ore maybe, and they would wheel you up and down. And here is the big wheel that would hold this. And you can see where it would hook and lower down into the ground. Let's go check out these things, these old-timey wagons, man. Look at this stuff. Wow. These are really old. Oh man, could you imagine traveling in the old pioneer days in some wagons like this? Here's where you would have sat, right up here. Yeah. Wow, here's a real actual stagecoach. This is incredible. Oh, it's not a stagecoach, it's oh wow, what is this? Some kind of a steam driven, like maybe the very first. Well, here it says steam boilers used by the Leadville Water Company around the turn of the century to thaw frozen pipes and fire hydrants and to thaw streams which had frozen and overflowed their banks. They were fired by coal and pulled by a team of horses. Amazing. Amazing. So that's what they would do. They would heat this up in order to heat up pipes and stuff. And here's a giant bellows. Huge, huge bellows. And this must be some other kind of steam driven thing. Here we have crib. The women who lived in and used buildings such as this during the mining years were hard-working survivalists who used the opportunities available to them. This view into history is an intent to show the hard life found in mining communities and the tenacity of such residents. It is not a judgment nor an effort to honor their lifestyle. It is rather a recognition of the human survival instinct and the abilities of all to find a way. We believe this to be the last remaining crib in Leadville. Wow. Let's see if we can see inside. Oh, wow. That's like the original bed. Can you see it? The original bed, and there's even like an old stove in there and an old table. Amazing. Once again, just imagining you're living here. This is maybe exactly where it was built. They left it right here. No, it looks like this has been moved. They brought it here. That's amazing. We have this would fire up to make clay bricks. Here's a big stack of bricks that were made by a brick maker like that. Here we have a gravity stamp mill. You can see that the ore would come in here and these things would go up and down and smash the ore, and the newly smashed ore would come down these slides here. Of course, we've seen plenty of ore carts, and one last thing to see here. We have this shaft boiler and shaker concentrating table, an old-timey one from the 1800s. Wow, look at this miner's cabin. This is really, really, really small. Can we see inside? What's inside here? Oh, it's just like a storage area for the museum. But here you go. This is about the size of what they would live in. And let's see, I guess we can go upstairs and see one more thing up here. They've got some more cool artifacts up there. Old wheelbarrow, and it looks like a pretty cool place to come kick it and have a beer late at night. I'm sure many do. Anyway guys, I hope you're enjoying that. Next time you're coming to Leadville, come check out the Historical Museum. And you can see here, all of this is just on the side of this building here. The Carnegie Library, Carnegie Mining Museum. I have no idea how much it costs to actually go in, but like I said, you don't really have to see some really cool stuff. Okay guys, see you soon.